Hi, this is Morgana. I don't know if anybody is awake out there. It's 3 in the afternoon in Spain. We just arrived in Madrid. And our train ride from Seville to Madrid was the best we've had. It was, I don't know why others were different because we always get first class train travel. But this time it was really like first class, being on a first class plane with the extra big seats and the newspapers being offered and the warm hand towels being offered and a great breakfast and coffee and croissants and all that kind of stuff included. And then, of course, a little towelette to clean up afterwards. It was just like flying first class on a plane. So if you want to save money and have the first class plane experience, take the train between Seville and Madrid, because it's even better because you also get to see the countryside, which is gorgeous, like millions of olive trees. The olive industry, the olive oil industry is so big in Spain. It's the #1 producer of olive oil in the world. And I'm seeing so many baby trees. So yay, Spain. Let's like combat climate change by planting olive trees and have food and clean air at the same time. I'm really digging our apartment in Madrid. It's like, this Airbnb thing is kind of a crapshoot. When it's bad, it sucks. Like when we were in Barcelona and the host didn't tell us that there was construction next door all day, buzzsaws and hammering. She sent me this long letter saying, we expect you to be really quiet, to not bother the neighbors, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, great, quiet. And then it was anything but. Best location in the city, worst location in terms of noise. But this Madrid place is like, ooh, I want to live here. Like completely not my style, and yet so super nice. Mostly because the guy who does live here, I don't know how he does it. He doesn't have any junk. Like my man does not compute. Like it's so clean and pristine and beautiful that even though it's modern, I'm really digging it. And it's got a jacuzzi. So really, really happy that we're going to be here for the next 3 or 4 days. I'm not really, I think 3 days, and then we go back to Seville, and then we go to Lisbon, and then we're in Portugal for a month. What else? So I hope that you read Devin's account of reconnecting with his departed dad. He wrote the whole book, 10,000 Miles with My Dead Father's Ashes, which is being promoted by Amazon this month. It's like total coincidence because Amazon loved the book, the head buyer, and we didn't plan it. We didn't plan to be in Spain when Amazon was promoting Devin's book. It's just like a very happy accident. And I think, honestly, I think that Devin's dad had a hand in that, and the reason why, and this is Devin's story to tell, and he wrote about it, and he'll write more about it, but I think the trip to Cadiz was the whole reason for this trip. And it's been a rough trip with, our sleeping differences and Devin's feet and my hormones, and travel is just different than it has been in the past, where in the past, you just show up and you book a room and it's like that, or you show up and you go to exhibits. If you travel in off season, it's like nothing. And it's different this time. So, next time we travel, we're going to have to be strategically different. But anyway, back to Cadiz. So we went to Cadiz, which is where Devin's father told his 7th wife that he wanted his ashes returned when he died. Home to Cadiz. Home to Cadiz. But Devin's dad isn't Spanish, had never been to Spain, and made the whole thing up. Oh, and he wanted Ave Maria played while his ashes were being scattered, even though in real life, his father wasn't religious. Again, a just made up story by his dad, who was a con man, even beyond dad. And Devin, it was a very, Devin has a story about how all that took place. Because he did want to fulfill his dad's ashes and in Cadiz, Spain. And that was 14 years ago. And this is the first time Devin has been back since then. And it was really powerful and beautiful to kind of, my job was to try not to talk and just be there. And Devin connected with his dad. And here's where things get interesting. Like, I could feel the energy shift. Things felt different after we went to Cadiz. And then we get back to Seville, and we're going to our market because we know that we're coming to Madrid the next day. So we wanted to stock up on food for the train ride because we didn't know they were going to feed us. And as we're stepping into our market in Seville, this incredible violinist who we've been admiring every day in Seville, he and usually a bass player, are just so good. And the kind of like, they play the kind of music that makes you just want to weep because it's so beautiful. Even if you aren't all that into classical music, it just is that beautiful. And here's the cool thing is, as we are walking to the market and we see our violinist, I realize he's playing Ave Maria, which is the song that Devin's dad had requested. So we've just gone to visit Devin's dad, and Ave Maria is being played. And I'm like all tingly, wow, And then over dinner, Devin had just said, oh my God, I was supposed to buy Dad a beer. And then we was like, oh, okay. And then we go back to eating. And then like 5 minutes later, a drunk guy comes and asks Devin in Spanish to buy him a beer. Ooh, and Devin didn't make the connection, and I didn't know about it, and I don't speak Spanish anyway, so I had no idea what was going on. But when the light bulb came on for Devin, and it was too late to buy that guy a beer, Devin called over the waitress and said, I'm going to buy a beer and give it to somebody and say it's from Dave, because that's Devin's dad's name. And it just felt like Devin's dad was winking at us. And that makes me all choked up because that's so sweet. And I'm really glad that we got to do this and that we had this experience. Life is weird and mysterious. And so that was Seville, and now we're in Madrid, and we're going to get married in Madrid, and then we're going to go to Portugal and get married in Portugal. And I'm really looking forward to slowing the pace. I've discovered the magic of taxi rides. Oh my God, so much more pleasant than chasing down buses. It's weird. It's like, I grew up with a very frugal dad. And that kind of ethic runs deep. And, sometimes traveling first class you just got to do it. And sometimes getting a taxi, you just got to do it. It's not worth the aggravation on your feet or the stress to go cheap. Sometimes going cheap is too expensive. So, and honestly, we need a nice place to sleep. And we really, really lucked out on this Madrid place because, we want to be central. And I think the first place that I had reserved fell through, and then we found this place, and I couldn't be happier. I want to live here. That's my favorite thing about Airbnb is when it's good, it is so good, you never want to leave. And it comes with a dog. It comes with the sweetest, cutest dog. So that's it for now. We're just regrouping, figuring out where we are and what we're going to do next. Devin wants to go see used books in Spanish. And I want to go to Plaza Mayor because that was recommended to us. And definitely, definitely want to go to the Prado because the painting that my grandparents loved is there. And the palace and some other stuff just looks really, really good. By the way, did I say Madrid is gorgeous? Like, whoa, I didn't know. It's really, really pretty. So I am loving, I'm just loving the architecture in Spain. I'm usually loving the food. Today's lunch was, but you win some, you lose some. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. That's it for now. Mwah. Hasta la vista.